Hello everybody, my name is Terry Lynch. I'm with Oregon Ufology. I found myself searching for a passageway one day, and that passageway leads right across the complete section of the Cascades, which I'm sitting in front of at the moment, on top of Planet Peak. I want to make sure that everybody sees the type of things that we find in the process of research for ufology. I have located a couple that's sitting here on the top of Planet Peak. She's facing south. He's facing north. Both of them are elongated skull. Just like a gray. Hi, my name is Terry Lynch. I'm with Oregon Ufology. In the process of my research, I found this location as I was searching through satellite imagery, and I ended up locating this thing that I like to call the Cascadia Guide. All right, it's a male and female with elongated skulls. This thing has been here, I'm going to say, for probably 5,000 to 6,000 years. Trying to make sure that we get a good, accurate, detailed thing of this report of this area. These are the guides, Cascadia guides. And that right there is Diamond Peak off to the side, and that is also, if you look very close, you will see that it's also Crater Lake. You see the whole top blew out. I'm going to get back up here fishing to the sky because I'm after UFOs.
But when you get to the mountains, what's going on here in the mountains is they're taking and they're using the Rosen Bridge. The mountains seems to be the home of these things. The harder, the more complicated it is to get to, that's where you're going to be finding these things, where it's almost impossible for people to walk around. If you're in a jagged cliff area of any mountain or volcano, any rifts that are really hard to walk through, places where we're not going to be, that's where they are. And they go into the earth. They live inside the earth. They are definitely above us in the sky. And we're the thing in the middle. We live in the middle of this whole setting. No matter where you're at on the planet, you're in the middle. Oh, there's some good pictures of the flow here. Yeah, I got some pretty good pictures of this flow. The big flow up on top of Paulina. I can't wait to analyze some of the film that you took up on top of Paulina Peak to see what kind of things were passing by us while we're up there. That's going to be interesting to see with your camera because it's a little more technical than mine. You can shoot in faster speeds than me with your Sony. I'm really curious to what happens when Chris Hamall gets a hold of that footage and starts to show us what he sees. It seems like every time I take any kind of video footage on top of Paulina Peak, Mr. Hamall in Australia seems to find everything that comes out of the sky. I'm really looking forward to him getting a hold of what research and seeing what he's done with mine. I want to see his research. And now that we've had a camera of the caliber that Alien Strand has brought, LEDZ Entertainment has brought up to this area, the possibilities are just limitless on this. You guys have definitely shown me that I need more than Nikon. I need some Sony. My goal is the P1000. It's a 3,000 millimeter camera. I'll be going back up to the top of Paulina Peak with that at some point, and I will be aiming towards Mount Shasta so I can actually see what's coming out of the mountain from Mount Shasta. I have this long run that I'll be able to track, and it's a couple 100 miles, but I'll be able to track with the P1000 from Mount Shasta all the way along the Cascade Line that goes all the way out to Mount Adams in Washington State. This one is the one that I got the Tic Tac craft with. It was passing overhead. I had it this focused in on a jet that was passing by with a chemtrail behind it. I use jets with chemtrails as a beacon. It's a place for me to focus. Once I focus in on that, the craft will pass. You don't sit here and look around like this for the craft. What you do is you set in one spot. You don't move from that spot. Tripods are king with these things. Every one of us are going to have full communication up on top of the mountain. We're using Motorola handhelds. I've got 3 of them. Jonathan has 2 himself. Jonathan's are all this kind. His are a little newer than mine, but we all have the exact same radios, so we can stay in contact because we are going to be on the top of a mountain 8,000 feet up in the middle of the wilderness. Okay, so here's part of the plan. Is we're gonna go ahead and go down to first we'll go up to the top of Paulina Peak. We're gonna go up to the Cascadia Guides. A little bit later, we're going to go down to Hole in the Ground, and we're gonna look at a mile-wide crater in the earth of Central Oregon. This is right on the edge of Central Oregon, heading towards Eastern Oregon, and to what we refer to as the Oregon Outback. We'll be looking directly at Paulina Peak from the east side of Paulina Peak. This is a location where almost every time I go there to film, I end up getting craft flying over the top of it. They usually move pretty fast. When the craft move over this, they're moving at 22 miles a second, just about as fast as a blinker.
I guess the last couple of years, been hanging out with Terry and kind of giving him a little bit of wilderness backup, I guess you could copy, and talk about, you know, we go out, we hit the woods, we hit the mountains. I've always made it a goal to find the top of every butte that I find out here. So that's kind of what we've done. And when me and Terry met, he kind of chipped right to the same thing. You know, let's go to the top of the buttes because I could use that as a vantage point. I like it just because it's a beautiful scene out here. But, you know, Terry kind of strung me onto that next side, that next piece of what we're investigating and watching the skies. So I guess my ultimate job is to get Terry where he needs to be, get him the best views on the sky, and watch his back. For the most part, we are in the wilderness. We are out in the great Oregon outback here. So, you know, we got a little bit of wildlife to worry about. Got to keep everybody safe, on their toes.
Oh, hell yeah. I love going out, just being in the woods. Most of the time, like he said, I just go out, ride around. I try to memorize each trail just by the way it looks, the way it goes, where it ends up, how I get there. But yeah, it's a lot of fun, especially with a lot of people. If I go out with like a group, me and my dad go out and some other people, it's always a real blast just to go out and have some fun.